Welcome to another exciting edition of Are You Garbage? The show where you find out if your favorite comedians are classy individuals or absolute trash. Now, here are your hosts, Kevin Ryan and H. Foley.
Hey, everybody out there, and welcome back to everybody's favorite podcast. This is Are You Garbage?
Oh, yeah.
It's that little show we sit down with your favorite comedians, and we find out if they're to be classy or if they're just a big old piece of trash.
Trash.
I'm your host, H. Foley, coming at you on a beautiful day. We're out back here at Tootie's in the new edition. She's upstairs, got a little spaghetti going.
Okay.
Using ramen noodles.
Fair enough.
What are you going to do? All right, fair enough. My co-host is coming at you from right next to me. A little bit of a swing and a miss this week. He is the CEO of Are You Garbage? He is an international businessman and my best pal in the whole wide world. Give it up for KJ. Kevin James Ryan, everybody.
Oh, shit. What's up, gang? Thanks for tuning in. As always, please make sure you rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. Full video available on YouTube. Then, obviously, the greatest website of all time, www.patreon.com/areyougarbage. You go over there, you get all that bonus content, gang.
Yes, sir. And gang, we could not be more excited to have our incredibly, and I mean incredibly special guest here with us today for the first time. He is a legendary stand-up comedian, actor, and podcaster, and you might have seen him in but not limited to. You got Law & Order, Third Watch, of course, The Chappelle Show, Spider-Man 2, The Wire, Guy Court, Black Dynamite, Black Jesus, The Last OG, The Cabin with Mr. Burt Kreischer, our good pal, Clerks 3, Def Comedy Jam, Premium Blend, Last Call with Carson Daly, Showtime at the Apollo, The Bad Boys of Comedy, BET's Comic View, I Am Comic, The Kevin Nealon Show, Chelsea Lately, Guy Code, Something's Burning, Lights Out with David Spade, The Degenerates, The Joe Rogan Experience, and The Breakfast Club. And his albums and specials include From Ashy to Classy, Ain't Worried About, and Y'all Need to Chill. And, of course, you can hear him every week on his amazing podcast, The Donnell Rawlings Show, over there on his YouTube page. And he's going to be in Schaumburg, Illinois at the Improv, October 10th through the 12th. But the big question in everybody's mind today, is he garbage? Louis Vuitton glasses and a sharp suit. This is going to be a tough one. Give it up for the one and the only Donnell Rawlings, everybody.
I have to start by saying, you should have just told people I'm 56 years old. You know what I'm saying? Because you go through your credits, you're like, God damn.
I saw
Premium Blend, Comic View.
I saw each
Coming
one
to the
hitting
stage. You see them on Def Comedy Jam. Yes, he's 56 years old. Celebrate his 57th if he makes it that far. Those were some of the oldest, but you know what? I did some shit.
You did a lot of shit.
You said Premium Blend. I was like, Premium Blend was like, that was like really, really. And then also,
I left
was
off Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, shit. You know what's so funny? The youngest talking about, I posted a picture of me in the military, and somebody said, we didn't know you was in MASH. Right? Because he had the oldest uniform.
Standing in front of an old Jeep.
But what I will say with that credit, and just as to the young punk-ass comedians out there.
I think he's talking to you, Luke.
Yeah, no, I'm telling y'all motherfuckers. You know what that means? A motherfucker that's been relevant for over 33 years. I don't know if you got some clap music or something right now, but that's a goddamn clap. And yes,
Fix his chord for him.
And you were really slick about, you know, people got different ways to call you old now. Like, what's up, Unc? What's up, legend?
OG.
You know what I mean? OG, that's like this. Okay, you see it in the beard. I'm an old motherfucker.
Call you a jive turkey when you walk in?
Oh, jive turkey. That's something my father would say. Hey, listen here, you jive turkey motherfucker. And people wonder why I say bitch in my routine so much. It's my dad.
Ah, it's funny. Buddy, give us
thanks
the
for
origin
having me.
story. Buddy, thank you for coming
awesome.
in.
The crazy thing is people would not know this. I was in the military.
Okay.
4 years. Despite what you want to think, I got an honorable discharge.
No,
people look at me like this.
highly of you.
No, people like this. Yeah, they
what were the
kicked you out.
charges?
No, they tried to kick me out, but I was like, you know what? I'll just say sayonara before that. I was in the military. I was a military police officer.
You were an MP?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. My father was so disappointed in me because he was a heroin dealer in D.C., right? And he said,
You're not wearing a wire, are you?
No. He said, this goes against everything I believe in, son.
Shit.
Right, a military police officer. I was stationed in Bowling North First Base in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
The first base I went to was Kunsan, Korea. I was in Korea.
Okay.
Used to work the front gate there. So after 4 years of being in the military, when you're in the military, whatever job you had in the military, normally that's what you pursue when you get out.
Right.
So I was waiting to be a D.C. police officer.
Oh, shit.
I was that close to did the psychological exam, whatever the Scholastic, if you want to say exam. I think that was just 8 through. Anybody could be a goddamn DC police cop. So in the interim, I was head of security at a grocery store.
Okay.
And I know you want to look at me like I was a rent-a-cop, and I was.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, head of security is a tall.
Wait a minute.
Is a big.
But let me
big
tell you
name.
something,
Detective at a
motherfucker.
ShopRite.
No, I was a general. and the
Salute
reason why I was
everybody?
a general because I went and bought stars for my
Oh
uniform.
shit!
That's awesome.
Right, and then there was a guy that used to work at one of the stores I supervised. He worked for Hostess Cupcake Company, and he was a comic at night. And he would come to the club and
Oh shit!
come to the store and give out tickets. You know, it was almost like bringer shows.
Yeah.
So I used to go with a lot of friends, and I went to this comedy club called Comedy Connection in Greenbelt. Almost all black comics in DC started here.
Gotcha.
I went to this club and I started heckling the comedians. I mean, I was so nice with it that people started showing up
To see you.
to hear me heckle. They would go to the door. I was like, "Is that asshole gonna be here today? He's funny as shit."
Is the
right?
sergeant here tonight?
Yeah, no, General, don't disrespect my
bad,
rank like that.
My bad, dude.
You and this motherfucking producer, the worst people I ran into. He thought I was in the military. Sir, step to your left, step to your right, 3 inches, a quarter of an inch, 1/8 of the inch. I'm gonna stay where I want to stay. So you know, most hecklers are people that want to do stand up, don't have the balls to be in front of an audience. So they dared me to go on. First week I was like, fuck that. I'd rather be. Listen, I was so cocky as a heckler.
Signing
This how
autographs
cocky
and
I-
shit.
No. It was worse than that.
You got merch.
No, worse than that. I tried to get a door deal. Yo, I tried to work. I went to the club.
Let me
the
get a
owner-
70-30 split out this motherfucker.
No, I think it was more like 80-20.
Sure,
right?
my bad.
But I told him, I
Got
said,
agent fees.
And I looked around, I said, look at this room. I'm like, I think it's time for us to do a deal. I said, I think I've increased your business by 50. And they looked at me like I was fucking nuts.
Sure.
They challenged me to go on stage. It didn't go then. The following week I went on, and the first time I ever touched a stage, I caught a standing ovation.
No shit.
There you go.
And I know it wasn't because I was the greatest comedian. What it was like everybody used to come. They was rooting for me.
It was
to
the
do
story of the
Right.
guy in
The
the
story, they
crowd
was
got
like-
up and fucking did
You
it.
know, there's always like, you should do it, you should do it, you should do it. And when I went up and I ran the light, I didn't know what the light meant. I didn't know shit. And it was like chaos.
How long did you run it?
I did a hot 7. I ran like 35 seconds, whatever it was. But the thing was, I didn't know the rules to comedy. I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
And when they, you know, this is the worst thing when a comedian has got the crowd going, right? And this is a psychological shit you play with the audience. You know you need to get the fuck off the stage. Then you be like, they don't be like this. Oh, man. Oh, I got to leave, y'all.
I gotta leave. They're making me leave. It's
Is
not
that
me.
the light?
They
Is that
making
the
me-
light?
Yeah, and then it's like, boo. Everybody was like, boo, boo. And my good friend Mike Washington, and people knew, I don't want to say a star was born, but they knew something special was about to happen.
Sure.
I love
Right?
it.
And they were like, and Mike was like, no, y'all don't understand. See, Donnell, this is his first time. Donnell don't know what the light means, right? But out of all the things I did in my life, I feel like a show. It was in that moment
That I knew.
that I knew I wasn't going to do anything else with my life.
There you
That's
go.
great.
The whole idea of being a DC police officer was out the window. But see, I think not like a white man. I was like, I had a job, right? And I was like, wait a minute, how do I support myself? I want to quit this job. You can't quit, because if you quit, you don't get unemployment, right?
Sure.
So I did everything to get fired from this job, right? Got fired from that job, took that 6 months of unemployment, and moved to New York, and
No
that was
shit.
it. Yeah,
Damn.
that's my story. And I think I keep trying to trim my time, but I think I've been in the game 33 years, and never, you know how some people say, was there ever a hard time you thought about not doing it? 33 years, I never, ever gave myself any other options other than I'm going to make this
No
work.
plan B.
Yeah,
No
you can't
plan
have
B.
a plan B.
I mean, I can have plan B. You know, when you go raw, you gotta have plan B.
Sure.
No, but I didn't have that plan B. You know,
I know
come
you-
on, you know what I'm talking about. Pop goes a
You ever
weasel.
kiss a girl, buddy? Go back a little bit.
Yeah.
With you talking about your dad, brothers and sisters. And
And
where'd
this
you
is-
grow up?
I grew up
DC,
between
right?
DC and
Okay.
Alexandria, Virginia.
Okay.
Okay.
I lived in DC until I was like about 11 or 12. Then my dad moved my family to Alexandria, and it wasn't until I got older that I realized the reason why he wanted my mother to leave DC, because all his other girls was in DC.
No shit.
And then as I got even older, I realized the house that he got my mother was a motherfucking stash house.
No shit.
And I didn't realize, I was like, something peculiar about all these black dudes coming, and we at the kitchen just counting hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think my dad is trying to teach me how to count, right? It was a stash house. My dad, that was relationship I had with my dad.
Did he live there with you? Nah.
When he felt like it.
Sure, okay.
When he was when any other the women did.
Gotcha.
He was dating.
And was it just you, or did you have brothers?
It was me. I got 2 younger brothers. See, this is the question when you ask black guys to get real tricky. How many brothers and sisters you have? Well, on my mother's side, right?
On my mother's side.
Yeah. Like, you got to separate the sides. When I hear people say parents, you show off motherfucker. My mom had,
He had
2
3
other
kids.
My mother had 2 other sons, and my
Older?
dad. Young. Everybody's younger.
Everybody's younger than you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then my dad, we was counting up until like the last 10 years.
No shit.
Yeah, he had like 10. It was like 9 or 10 of us.
Wow.
Damn.
But what I will say, with that, I will say my dad did a great job of all his kids knowing who we were. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
It wasn't like somebody lived over here, you had a chance to bump into him not knowing.
He was
who that
present
person
in their
is.
lives.
He was kind of, sort of.
Okay.
But I think so, and I was like into girls hard, so I guess he had to introduce me to 2 of my sisters that were the same age.
Sure. Yeah,
you don't want to get your West Virginia on.
This is Alexandria. When you say, was he moving some serious?
Yeah, he was like, I am proud to say, it's one thing to say your dad was dealing drugs as like a guy on the corner, but he was like a heroin kingpin in
No
D.C.
shit.
Like when he got busted, or when they finally kind of got a hold to him, it was in the front page of the Washington Post. It was Washington Post.
Damn.
It was 11 people indictment. It was a multi-million.
It was like they moved on the crew that was.
Yeah. It was a big deal.
It wasn't just they caught him. Yeah.
No, it was like they've been investigating. He's been in and out of prison. But it's interesting because in D.C. they have this music called go-go music, right?
Okay.
It's sort of like, I don't know if you want to say it's like I don't know what the genre is, but it's a lot of congos, a lot of percussions, or whatever. It's really popular in D.C. And when I was coming, there was 3 top go-go bands. It was one called EU, Trouble Funk, and Rare Essence. I know it's weird, but they were the top 3. But they were so competitive that none of them would ever be on the same bill together. It would be like Trouble Funk and EU, or EU and Rare Essence.
They were like headliners.
Yeah,
They're
they
like,
was
I'm not opening for
not
whoever.
working.
Yeah.
But my dad, it was like a hockey ring called a Washington Coliseum. And my dad was leasing that for like years. And he was the first guy to ever bring all of those super groups together.
shit.
Damn.
He had booked New Edition when they was off of Candy Girl.
No kidding.
That he was big time. And I remember me and my friends, we used to go to the go-go. My mother would never let me hang out that late other than me working the concession for my dad. And I remember one time me and my friend was going to go watch the band, and my father and my mom came up to me. She said, "They looking for your dad," right? And I knew what that meant. I knew that he was on the run. And I don't know if anybody ever experienced something of going through, like your mom telling you something, and you say to yourself, "I might not ever see my father again."
Damn.
Jesus.
And the crazy thing was, I was like stunned and shocked. I'm like, God damn, he was on the run. He was on the run. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to see my dad again. Nobody was going to tell me anything. And it was Christmas, maybe like 10 months after the incident, I get a knock on the door.
He's on the run the whole time. You haven't seen him.
I haven't seen him. I get a knock on the door. Boom, 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 boom. And I was like, who is it? And he said, "It's your father."
Damn.
And I was like, oh, shit. I thought I was never going to see you again. You really love us. But then I forgot it was the stash house. So he was like, "Hey, go give me that money, bitch. I'll see y'all later," right?
That just toyed with my
And this
emotions.
is everybody
dude.
tell me I should do this as a movie. So he was gone,
Damn.
moved to Jamaica, right?
You did.
Yeah, he moved
No,
to
Oh,
he
he
did.
moved to
Yeah.
Jamaica.
He moved to Jamaica. The motherfucker was throwing concerts in Jamaica, and he was like,
So that was his on the level fucking way to make money was the promotions and
The
Him
promotion.
diversifying.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he still had the
for
shit
sure.
in
But I'm
those
just saying,
stores.
like this was.
But that was his laundering or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
And this motherfucker had moved to Jamaica and was doing. You can call your motherfucker when he do a lot of time in prison. My father.
Uh-huh.
He was just doing these like big concerts. He brought New Edition to Jamaica, right? He just had a thing. Oh shit, my father wasn't Diddy. I hope he wasn't Diddy then. But he did. He was doing concerts there. And what happened was the Jamaican government at the time, they didn't give a fuck.
No extradition.
He had so much money that he was paying them like motherfucker was over there, had a mansion.
Yeah, he was chilling.
He had a Rolls Royce and shit.
No
and
shit.
something happened with him with the government. I think he was sleeping with a big crooked politician's girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and then they turned him in And he said, man, I never seen so many guns. They came up in that motherfucker with AK-47s
Down there.
down in Jamaica. And my father, he was built for prison. He was in and out. He told me one time, he said, man, maybe I'm crazy. I had fun in jail. I was like, how could you say that? He said, all my friends was there.
Yeah.
You know, but he said one thing. He said, man, I am so glad they got me fucking out of that Jamaican jail system. He was like the worst experience he ever had. Brought him back to DC. Did a bid. Did like 11, this is a crazy story, did like 11, 12 years.
Jesus.
Right? Missed almost all of my childhood, graduating
Right.
and everything. And this is a crazy story. So when he finally got out, I remember one time he came to my show and I had just started doing comedy. And I just wanted this proud moment with him, right? I said, Dad, this is my proud moment. Look, I'm like, Dad, what do you think? He said, man, he said, it was okay. He said, but you know what you got to do? And I'm like, motherfucker, what you got to do is stay out of jail. Who we giving these lessons to right now, right? But he would come.
A little pedestrian, if you ask me.
Yeah, for 3 years, he would come to my shows with his boys.
Okay.
Thanksgiving. And then he started saying that I started making a name for myself. He started showing me he was a little proud, but it always had something slick to say, well, you know what you need to do. I'm like, man, fuck that. I just wanted you to have a proud moment. So some years passed, and it was a tradition that he brought all his boys to the Thanksgiving show. And then one year, I got a call from my mother again. And she said, they got your father. I'm like, what the fuck are you selling now, bruh? You old as shit. And come to find out, he was still dealing heroin. And he's so old that he's using code words from like 80s. Like he's saying shit anybody can figure out. Like, it was snowing in California last week. People like, what the fuck? He's like this. He's like, yeah, how many nuggets you went? You went Burger King, motherfucker. Burger King don't even have nuggets, right? Now this motherfucker, I said, I could not believe.
Dude, getting caught with old-time slang is awesome.
And not only that, The Wire was one of his favorite shows. And this motherfucker got caught talking on The Wire. Right? I was like, Dad, give it up. And it was like, but I'm telling you, he's so gangster. He never bitched, never cried. He's one of the old school dudes like, I'm not talking about nobody. I did the crime, I do the time. And he even told me, he said, you know what, son? I was talking to him. He said, man, shit. Ain't no sense in me fucking crying now, and I wasn't crying when I was spending that motherfucking money.
That's a good life outlook.
Okay, but something about Blue Chew.
Ooh, I'm hard right now, girl.
Calling all you soft serves out there. You know what I mean? You want to serve a little hard cream?
Start playing hardball, baby.
A little Rocky Road. Do yourself a favor. Get over there to Blue Chew. Sent right to your door when things are about to heat up with you and whoever. Pop one of those in. Talk about a good time.
Wham, bam, thank you, sir. Blue Chew is an online service, as you know, that it delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost, and it's in a chewable form. The process is simple. You sign up over there at BlueChew.com. You consult one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription in a few days.
There you go.
And best thing, they're made in the U.S. of A.
Look at that.
Talking homegrown bones, Daddy. That's all right. Cut it. Print it.
None of them Euro hard-ons.
You can take it anytime.
Crook to the left.
You can got a lid on them. You can take it anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever the opportunity arises.
Sure.
Listen, they sent it, and I got to listen. But you got to personally endorse these things, and I'm telling you, it works. All right, something you can swing from
with a girl or solo.
Hey, I just do dress rehearsals, Daddy-o. Blue Chew wants men rock hard. They told me that. That's the mission. They will not stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house, till every tent is pitched, till every rod is raised. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we got a special deal for AYG listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code GARBAGE at checkout, just paying $5 in shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code GARBAGE to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring a podcast.
Boing. Gang, the show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Yes.
You got something going on, you got to talk it through, get on BetterHelp. They can match you up with a licensed therapist. You can do it from the privacy of your own home. talk on the phone. You could do video. You could do text messages. They're there available for you. If you don't have a specialist in your area and you need one, get over to BetterHelp. They can help.
Yeah, we're getting to that time of the year where it gets a little dark and gloomy. You get the seasonal blues on top of all the other bullshit you're working through.
Yeah.
You got to deal with...
Holidays are around the corner. A lot of stress. Back to school.
Oh, fucking...
The broad's busting your balls. The kids are yapping. The job sucks. We know all about it. Talk to somebody. Get it off your chest. And better yet, as I learned, you're saving the people around you by talking to someone about it, so you're not talking to them about it.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
The big man just started talking to somebody. It's fantastic. It gives you a sounding board. Talk therapy is a fantastic tool. I've used it. He's back on the horse. I've used it multiple times in my life, just different periods, whether you're going through something, just whatever. It just lets you vent a little bit, let the steam out, get a different perspective on things.
Sure.
I highly recommend it. So take off that mask. You're not wearing a holiday mask, a Halloween mask. Take off the mask with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/garbageaday to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/garbage. Do it.
But here's the thing. This is how crazy shit was. So now, older in age, health is not good. You know what I mean? Like, at the time, he's passed away since, but at the time, he probably had 10, 15 years in him.
Left.
Right. And I'm like, he don't have the money to have a high-powered lawyer anymore, so he's ready to cop a plea. Right? I think he was going to cop to like 10 years or whatever, right? And I remember one day, I got another call from him. He said, what's up? Collect call, of course. And he was like, he was like, beep, 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 beep. And he was like, what's up, son? I said, what's up, Dad? How you doing? He said, shit, man, I'm making it. You never know what my father's emotion was. He never let you know if he was sad, mad.
Okay.
He just was that steady tone guy. And he said, yeah, I talked to my lawyer today. He said, what's going on? He said, my lawyer said, Mr. Greer, I got some good news and some bad news. You want the good news or the bad news? And my father said, I'm locked up. They all bad news. Right? He said, the bad news is I'm not going to be able to come see you today. The good news is you're coming home.
No shit.
There was a rogue cop on the case, a crooked FBI agent that was stealing the drugs, using the drugs, and my father fucking walked out.
So they threw out the case.
Not just his case, this was a big time story. It was about 170 people. If you caught a case with a fucked up FBI agent, everybody going home.
Damn.
And the crazy thing about it was, I thought he was going to miss our traditional, this is a fucking movie. I thought he was going to miss our traditional Thanksgiving show, right? And I was like, that was the thing that was hitting me. I was like, damn, man, it's going to be weird not to see my father at this show. And he got freed about 2 weeks before the Thanksgiving show, and he came to the Thanksgiving show. Passed away 4 years ago.
It's a goddamn Hallmark movie.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry to hear that.
no, I mean, you know what? And that's what I tell people. I think that how my father was with us, and I don't have nothing bad to say about my father. Certain lifestyles just don't give you the opportunity to spend all the time you want with your kids or whatever. As many, Nick Cannon can say he's a good father all he wants, but there's no, you know what I'm saying, with 12 kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand, like, he just wants to procreate or whatever, but there's no way that 12 kids are getting that dad. There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
But I will say, the relationship I had with him, I have no regrets or anything. I wish I would have had more time, but now when I look at my son, I have a young son, he's 9 years old, and I'm so caught up into raising this kid. Like, I look at my son, I remember when he was 5, I looked at him, I was like, where was my dad at when I was 5? Locked up. Where was my dad when I was 7? Locked up. And I can't even imagine being somewhere other than being in his life and doing the best for him.
Yeah.
Man, that is something else.
Crazy fucking story.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to make that shit a goddamn
That
movie.
is a movie.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Let's go back a little bit. So your mom basically raised you. How was the grades in school? Were you a good student?
I mean, do you know any comics that had good grades? What kind of question is that? If you not, let me tell you, if you got straight A's in school, you're a shitty comedian. I mean, you had to balance that shit. AF. I was an AF motherfucker.
Yeah, me too.
When I got an F, I knew I needed an A. When I got an A, I was like, I could rock on the F. I was average. I mean, I didn't really. School was just fucking a fun place to be for me. You know, now I look at it now, like, what did school teach me to prepare me for this? Nothing other than getting in front of a classroom and cracking jokes or whatever. Not to say that school is important, but for me, it was just a fun place to go.
For sure, I get that. Did you play any sports growing up?
I wrestled for a year.
Okay.
I wrestled 98 weight class. I was so small. I was like about 75. The wrestlers, you know, that's the biggest thing with wrestlers is making weight.
Yeah.
They used to be so mad at me. I used to go to weight with a goddamn jacket on, boots, eating a steak and cheese sandwich like Steak Tim. That was the outfit. Steak and cheese. These motherfuckers over there taking laxative shit and everything. And I'm like this, still underweight. But I did that for a while.
Okay.
But I was the manager for the basketball team.
Okay.
I call it manager, they call it water boy. Whatever.
Sure, I was going to correct
don't
you.
Don't disrespect me like that, motherfucker. Like, yeah, you water boy, motherfucker. No, but I was
assistant coach.
Yeah, I was assistant coach. You know, I was the stats guy. Yo, guys wouldn't win nowhere if I didn't tell them how many rebounds they had every game. But I was I was that guy. And I was like, I wasn't really good in sports, but I only wanted to be on a team just to crack jokes.
Be around people.
And then my mom didn't have any money then. So if you make the water boy or whatever, you got a free pair of leather sneakers. You know what I'm saying? You got to travel. Like if we win a game, we got to go to Pizza Hut and shit like that. And every place I was connected with, I was only there to fucking make people laugh. That's been the story of my life from high school to the little jobs I had. The only reason I never got fired from jobs, or the reason why they was hesitant, because I was a morale motherfucker.
Yeah, fun to be around.
They're like, this motherfucker ain't shit on the clock, but goddamn, everybody feel good around here.
Yeah.
That was it.
Someone's got to go. Donnell's a good time. Gary stinks. I'll see you later, Gary.
Yep, that was it. That's the story.
That's good. And then you went to run in the military after high school?
Yeah, 17.
Okay.
What? One sec. What did vacations look like growing up?
Military?
Yeah.
No, growing before, like when you were a kid. No.
Vacation. This show is white as hell. Vacations? Vacation? What the fuck is a vacation? When I was growing up,
lacrosse camp
only
did you go
vacation
to?
you had is like at Lewisburg Penitentiary. You want a vacation? That's a vacation you get. But I will remember. I do remember this.
That reminds me. I asked Miss Pat if she opens her eyes underwater, and she said, "White people sure is nosy."
Yeah, no, you don't do that shit. But I do remember one. I remember this. One vacation.
Where'd your family ski at?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
His dad was running the slalom.
Yeah, my dad had the whole neighborhood skiing, motherfucker. All right, there you go.
I'm selling my lift tickets.
But we didn't do.
No vacations.
But I do. It's a memorable story, and I kind of recreated it with my son. One year, my dad rented an RV for all of his kids, right? And he didn't go.
You guys were muling.
Nah, he with the money.
We had to go to
We didn't
Cabo.
give a fuck. Give us the money in the car, in the SUV. I mean, the RV. We're gone. So my aunt Alice, R.I.P. rest her soul. We rented this RV. We drove it from D.C. down to Myrtle Beach.
Sure.
Okay.
All my brothers and sisters. And to this day, I remember that trip like it was yesterday. And we had an interesting time because I'm from the D.C. area. So anybody growing up in the D.C. area, you love Maryland blue crabs.
Yeah.
Right.
So we went crabbing on Myrtle Beach, and we was like this. Oh shit, man! We was catching the motherfucking crabs. We had like 3 bushels of crab. We about to have a crab feast. I'm gonna get all the bitches when we get back to DC. You got a bushel of crabs in DC, you can get some pussy.
That's a bushel of crabs.
Story.
That's
like
about $200-300.
Yeah, that's 200-300 bitches. I mean, Queens. So the thing was, we caught these as food in Myrtle Beach, but then we had to drive to my grandma's house in Fayetteville, North Carolina. So that's like a 2.5 hour drive. So they went from, we're going to eat these motherfuckers to pets.
Yeah.
We started getting connected with
Playing
them.
with them and shit.
Giving them names, Krabby Curl. I mean, and then my sister and them, they had fingernail polish. They was writing the names on the back of them. We racing the fucking crabs in the yard. We get to my grandma's house. We forgot they're supposed to be, we was going to eat them. And then I remember this, man. We hear our aunt yell from the window. All we saw was this pot with steam coming up. She was like, bring them goddamn crabs in here. We was like, you bitch! You killed Curl the crab! And just to see all of us like barely over top of the dining room table. And she didn't give a fuck. All we heard was more crabs for me, man.
Uh-huh.
Yep,
Damn.
That was
That's a good vacation, though.
Yeah, well, and it
right.
was a memorable, and that's why even like a couple years ago, I couldn't wait to have that experience with my son. And I was in New York, and I rented a RV, and we drove from New York to Yellow Springs, Ohio,
Nice.
to D.C., back to New York. Until this day, he's only 9 years old, but all he says, "Daddy, when we gonna go on an RV trip again?"
Yeah, that's awesome for
But
his
last
dad.
year, this motherfucker asked me, he said, "Dad," I said, "What you want for Christmas?" He said, "An RV." Right? I thought he meant like the little
Like a toy.
scaled models. He said, "No, Daddy, a RV."
Uh,
But my dumb ass, I'm like this, okay, you know what? That's not a bad idea. And it's not a bad idea. Again, the fact that I can create these memories with my son, and that's the one thing
That's it,
that I
yeah.
always, I try to leave that impression with my son and other people with their kids and everything, man, make those motherfucking memories, you know?
Damn.
I love
That's
it.
great.
Did you buy the RV?
No, man, fuck that. I will.
If you own an RV company out there, hit them up. Let them get one for
but
on the cheap.
At some point, I will do it because again, knowing the relationship I have with my dad, it's like everything. I just want to do everything. And then I'm old enough to be my son's granddad, so he's got a combination of dad and granddad. I don't try to teach this motherfucker no life lessons. I'm just like, how do you shut the fuck up?
I'm trying to rest my eyes over here.
Here's some candy. Fuck your teeth. This is the first set. You'll get some new one. But he got the best of both worlds. We be having him later in life and
Right.
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I love it. What was the first concert you went to?
It's probably
first
one of the go-go
Yeah,
concerts.
it was
Earl Funk or what
it
was
was you trying to be funny now.
No,
That's fucked up.
no,
Earl
something funk.
When you said funk, you stuck there looking right in my eyes and shit.
I was trying to
One of them
remember it.
motherfuckers.
No, no, don't-
Was it Frankie Beverly?
I got an interesting story about Frankie Beverly. No, I opened
He did
for
my
him.
communion.
I
did?
I did.
Holy shit.
And then as a DC
He
comic,
just passed.
I know, like a
Man.
couple weeks ago. As a DC comic, that was like one of the biggest gigs you can have.
Philly
Opening
too,
for Frankie yeah, you know the history behind
Of
it.
course, man.
So I opened for him at the Greek Theater about three or 4 years ago.
Wow.
But the
3
first
4
concert,
years ago.
yeah,
Oh,
the Greek-
shit.
and he was on his his voice. Just so people understand about Frankie Beverly. People like you got haters like, oh, his voice is the same. Nobody at a certain point. You don't go to a Frankie Beverly Mays concert to hear him sing.
Sure.
You go so you can sing.
So you can
Yeah.
see, yeah,
That's
yeah.
the whole thing. People come before. He don't have to say. He'd be like, before I let you go. Yeah, but it was a new edition. The new edition concert was the first concert
Okay.
I went to. I'm telling you, when I say we didn't have money, we didn't do a lot of extra shit. So when my dad was running that was so dope for me
That was
because
it, yeah.
I could go there all the time. But Frankie, and this dope thing, I was going through some old videos, and I took my son to the Frankie Beverly Mays concert like 4 years ago. He went on stage, and I got a video of my son being on my shoulders, listening and grooving to Frankie Beverly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
One of the questions we ask a lot, who's the most famous person you met as a kid before you started doing comedy? Before you ever, did you bump into, could have been like a newscaster, a guy off the radio?
Bobby Brown.
No, Bob, I didn't meet them. I didn't go backstage.
He was
and-
working
No?
concession.
That's
It was
true.
Sam. What's the he used to play for Virginia. Center. Ralph Sampson.
Ralph
Sampson.
I don't know Ralph
Yeah,
Sampson.
Ralph Sampson. I'm old as shit. Ralph Sampson.
A center from the University of
I
Virginia?
think he went to Virginia.
American,
I think Terry Holland.
him, Ralph Sampson?
Yeah, Terry Holland was the coach then. And
Oh, okay. I was thinking
remember
football center.
we
I
were
was
doing
like, that's a rough
something
one.
down there. I think I was managing the basketball team, and he just happened to be in the gym. And
Okay.
I remember that was a
NBA, that's pretty good.
That's not bad. I like that.
Yep.
Or the pet situation as a kid, other than the crabs.
We had a whore dog.
Oh,
Yeah, it was. We had and the dog fucked everybody in the neighborhood, and she didn't have Plan B. This bitch just kept getting pregnant because black people, we don't fix our dogs. We just blame it on you. You shouldn't have been outside, bitch. One time she had a set of Rottweilers, Chihuahuas and shit. Her name was Yvette, and I knew when she was out there whoring
Yvette.
because I know we gave her
That's
a
a lady's
whole
name.
human. It's a whore name.
I know, you're not wrong.
I'm sorry. I mean, sorry if there's an Yvette out there, but I bet you're fucking, right? But we knew when she was out there doing her thing, getting rowdy, because she would have paw prints on her back of her legs. And I could tell when somebody was really digging into it, because the paw prints would be closer to here.
Yeah, I'll put
And I
it
mean
back.
somebody really hitting her with the bong, bong, bong. Yep, Yvette. That was a pet situation.
Oh my God. What was the first big check in comedy? First big check where you were like, oh
The first
shit.
big check in comedy, it was it was because of me being in comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember it was for a Sierra Mist campaign.
Damn.
Shit.
This guy named Frank Cooper, black guy, he used to be the vice president of North American marketing for Pepsi. And this is when, I don't know if you remember, but they did a campaign, Sierra Mist campaign, when they used a lot of the cast members from Mad TV. They was trying to flip it on some comedy shit. It'll probably come up.
That was when they first launched.
Oh, wait, somewhere around that time.
Yeah.
So Frank Cooper, come to find out, he was a fan of mine from Chappelle's show. And he hired me as a consultant on that show. But I didn't consult shit because, you know, normally in those campaigns when you got a group of writers.
Sprite, man.
Yeah, I was like, usually when you got a group of writers like that, they're not open to any outside interest.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's just their homeboys. And so they was like, who the fuck is this motherfucker? Where did he come from? I literally went into one meeting, pitched one idea. They looked at me like, eh. I went back to my trailer, right, and I got $50,000.
Damn. Oh, shit.
Yep, and I felt so bad about it. And the only reason I was there because Frank Cooper, he wanted part of that Chappelle show energy around. And I had some decent ideas, but I understand what the system was. And I felt guilty about it.
Wow.
And I felt like, man, I owe you some money. And he looked, and some of my friends were like, man, you know, that's a drop in the bucket.
That's not. They don't even know that's
Feeling
gone.
bad for Pepsi?
Yeah, I know. That's
He's a good guy.
Yep, but that was the first.
And
50 G's.
That's nuts.
That's all right.
Any stupid purchase with a big check that you got early on where you're like, I shouldn't have bought that car. I shouldn't have bought that
not
jacket.
really, because when I would catch a check, I was so behind.
Catch a check. That's a great term.
When I catch a check, I'll be so behind on shit. I owe the landlord for 6-7 months. So that shit be looking like did the agents hit you. Uncle Sam, that shit be turning to 15,000 quick as shit.
Catch a check.
But no, nothing crazy.
Okay.
That's all right. Were you a big clothes guy back in the day?
No, I couldn't afford it. What I was creative. You know, we used to shop. Man, I used to shop at thrift stores.
Really?
Yeah, and I would look for like, man, you know how hard it is for a little poor kid to go through those fucking musty ass mothballs ass rack and shit. And I finally would get up. Oh man, I found this Izod shirt one time. I thought it at Lacoste. I was like, oh, these bitches now gonna be ready tomorrow.
Get the crabs ready.
Get the crabs, bitch. Right? But the thing was, I'm like, damn, how do I explain a brand new old shirt?
How do I explain it?
Like, where did you get that shirt that's already worn?
Yeah, they're like, I'm like, I used to tell them, man, I don't leave my clothes over my grandmother's house. Who the fuck does that, right? But I remember it. The shirt was so old, the alligator twisted up. It twisted up.
I know what you mean.
It twisted up.
Scoliosis.
It twisted up. And I had to starch it and make that shit stick before I could wear it. But I couldn't. And then I flipped the collar up. You couldn't tell me shit.
How was your mom in the kitchen? Good cook?
Yeah, she was a good cook. And because she had to be creative. I think that's, like, I love to cook right now. And like, people are like, what's your favorite dish? I don't have a favorite dish. I can follow a recipe, and I get creative. And then when you growing up with no money, you got to try to get funky in the kitchen. So my mother was like always.
What's something that she would hit with that the kids would all love?
Lasagna. I know it's so simple.
Really?
I know this is weird, but this my favorite dish, and it was a struggle dish. It was tuna fish casserole.
Wow, I was just thinking about that.
I love some goddamn tuna fish casserole, and even when I make it now, I think it just makes me reminisce about my mom.
You do it with the egg noodles and the peas and stuff like that?
Oh, man, I was just like, oh, man, with that little crust on the top, man.
Yeah.
Take the little breadcrumbs with the garlic butter. Yes! That was a favorite shit. And even like, I think when I was coming up in comedy, I didn't really have money to take chicks out on fancy dates. So they thought I was like, oh, I see you chefed it up. Bitch, I ain't got no money. That's why I'm doing that.
So you cook for them?
Yeah, I cook for. Oh, and I used to do all that romantic / broke motherfucker shit. Hey, you want to go for a walk in the park?
I wrote you a poem.
Yeah, like let's have a picnic. Let's go watch the plane. That was one of my things in DC.
Let's go watch the plane.
Oh, watch the plane. Oh, that's romantic. Watch the planes land.
On the hood of the car?
No, not a hook. I ain't had no car, motherfucker. She had a car. Yo, I'm like. I used to lay that goddamn blanket out. It'd be a water fountain. This is so romantic. Yeah. Because I was broke. Why you got all these candles? Because the lights are off, bitch. Let's get romantic. No furniture type of shit. But those was a good day.
Kip, let's talk about Tushy.
Shout out to Tushy.
Let's talk about a clean butthole.
Oh, bunghole.
All love a clean butthole. Gang, what are you doing? What's the 1800s? You an old prospector? You're wiping your ass with leaves and old toilet paper. That gets clumped up in there. You got dingleberries floating around. Hook the Tushy up. Fantastic bidet. Cleans you out real nice. Keeps you fresh and clean all day long.
Yeah. It's fantastic. They sent us one. It was something that I've heard about. I was like, yeah, it's one of those things you hear like, oh, that's a great idea. Why aren't I doing that? And then you just don't like act on it. And then they sent us one, and you can't go back. It's night and day. It's good versus evil. It's fucking light versus dark. It's fucking clean versus shitty. How you doing? The Tushy bidet easily attaches to your existing toilet without the need for additional plumbing or electricity. Installation is simple. Takes less time than it does to take a deuce. Just under 10 minutes. How you doing?
You haven't seen mine.
Toilet paper only smears poop around on your skin, but Tushy bidet has a nozzle adjuster with the precise clean every single time. Comes with a nozzle adjuster to find out the best angle for the best precise clean of your life. Every Hello Tushy bidet comes with a 30-day hassle-free return and a 12-month warranty. It's time to ditch the toilet paper and finally feel shower clean with Hello Tushy. For a limited time, our listeners get 10% off their first bidet order when you use the code GARBAGE at checkout. That's 10% off your first bidet order at hellotushy.com. Promo code GARBAGE. Do it. Yeah.
Gang, we got to tell you about True Classics.
The truest classics.
The best T-shirts you're ever going to put on. Plus, they got activewear. They got everything over there. I love the T-shirts. Let me tell you something. You big boys out there, it's real hard to find bigger sizes. They got the 4X over there. When you wash them, they don't shrink up. They get better as you wash them, which is crazy.
They get a little good feel to them.
A real good feel, man. I'm telling you, it accentuates the arms, covers the belly. For you big guys out there, do yourself a favor. Get over to True Classics. Grab a pack of tees. You'll thank me.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I was using them before they were even a sponsor. I heard them on another podcast. I was like, I got to check these out. I'm a big tea guy. Everybody knows that. I order fucking 10 of them at a time with the black packs. They give you the 3, 6, or 9 packs. It's they're not oversized. They're cut the right way to make you look nice. Because when you get a bigger 2X, 3X, 4X, they look like moo-moos. These still keep you. You look like an ex-offensive lineman. It's fantastic. The best-selling T-shirt, hoodie. They have the best-selling T-shirts, hoodies, and jeans. Like I said, they come in 3, 6, and 9 packs. Premium products at an affordable price. The fall must-haves are the long-sleeve Henleys, the waffle hoodies. Love a waffle. Jeans, button-ups, joggers, and more. So fall is here. It's time to step up your game. Right now, you can unlock big savings when you bundle packs. Just go to our exclusive link at trueclassics.com/garbage to save. That's trueclassics.com/garbage. Shop now and elevate your wardrobe today. Now back to the show.
Back to the show. Oh, that's too funny.
And those, if you think about it in this business, I know a lot of successful people, right?
My head hurts.
And when you talk to them, really like people that really came through the mud, if you want to say, I know some billionaires, not a lot, that when you talk to them, they don't talk about where they are now. They want you to appreciate where they came from.
Sure, of course.
That's the story that they want to tell you. Mm-hmm. It wasn't always this easy, you know. I was on the verge of bankruptcy. My honey over here loaned me $20,000 and whatever. That's the story. If you think about it, real humble, successful people, that's the story they give a fuck about. Because once you get to that point, you feel like, especially if you knew you had a vision, you knew it was going to get there, you knew it was going to come. It was just a matter of time. And you know, in this business, if you have a little bit of talent and a lot of work ethics, you can do it.
Sure.
And I hear so many stories.
Talking to two guys who did it with no talent.
No, I hear so many stories like, oh, this person isn't that funny or so-and-so. You know, I hear the bullshit that surrounds Kevin Hart. And I have a lot of respect for Kevin Hart. I mean, to get to that point where he is. And I remember Kevin Hart coming from Philly. When I used to produce, like, real ghetto shows, he would come and pop at my show for $100. And then go fuck with Keith Robinson or the seller.
Shout out to Keith, yeah.
And don't fucking, like, get no money, just hang around. I know how he played both of them. And, you know, no matter what you want to say about him, you can't deny that motherfucker's work ethics and his hustle. Yes, he's talented, but without the work ethics, it's shit.
Of course.
We know so many people. You see the comic club, that motherfucker's a legend. He's so and so, and what is he doing? Nothing, because he couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, the billionaire.
Yeah.
You're talking about.
Yeah.
Where did you run show? Where was your shows in New York? I'm
I
curious.
had a show in Brooklyn, this place called, what I would do when I came up here and the comics that used to produce shows weren't that friendly with me, I had to figure out a way to make money.
Sure.
So I would go to like a small restaurant. Again, I went to this place called Palm Court Lounge, and I saw that they had an open mic there. And I went there like 2 or 3 times, and I was like 5 people, 10 people. And I went to the manager, and I was like, I mean, you don't know me, whatever. I said, but I can get people in this place. You know what I'm saying? That was my hustle. Always produce a show. And I had this spot, Palm Court Lounge, and I chose a Monday night. I said, I don't want to do Tuesday, Wednesday, because everybody got something. I always said, you know, when you hear about Monday, people always say, man, ain't nothing to do on Monday. There's nothing to do on Monday. So I named the night Something to Do on Monday.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
And I made this the hottest, especially for urban comedy. And the thing that I'm proud of this, all the gangbanging killers, they came to my spot.
Yeah.
There you go.
And guess what they did? They didn't kill that day.
Sure.
Yo, Monday
you go.
was
You're out here
no
saving
kill
lives.
day.
Safest day of the week.
And the reason why, I always had bad chicks in my spots, right? Motherfuckers come. You get the bad chicks to come. I remember one time, this guy, he's
For the
not,
streets safe.
this guy, I
You
know.
should be the mayor, dude.
Look, I'm dressed
you're
like
dressed
him
like
today, and it might be a job opening coming up soon, too. So I thought about that. I'm the ashy Eric. But I
That is an Eric
That
Adams
is a
suit,
very,
dude.
that's a very Eric.
But it
Adams
was
suit.
and I mean, I'm telling you, this spot, it was some of the most notorious Brooklyn gangsters ever. So much that none of them are alive right now.
No shit.
I remember one night, this guy, it was this guy named Nut, and Nut was just, well, he earned his name.
Sure.
And he was over in the corner talking shit. I didn't know who Nut was, but I always used to, because my rooms would get rowdy, and I always I had to control the audience. I'm like, yo, listen up, y'all shut up and everything. And he was over there talking to more killers. I didn't know anybody was killers. You know, I mean, they don't have a name tag. Hi, I'm a killer. Hello.
Now, where do you guys go to school?
Yeah, like, bop, bop, bop.
Where do you guys go on vacation, huh?
So, and I was like, yo, chill out. And everybody was like, when I was talking to people, looked at me like, and I was like, yo, fuck that. I went over and I said, yo, y'all disrespecting the show, man. Y'all need to be quiet or y'all got to leave. And he looked at me like, right? And I didn't know that look. I was like, y'all heard me. I walked away. And then another good friend of mine that knew me and knew Nut. Nut was outside waiting for me, right?
No shit.
And I was like, right? And my other guy, he was like, yo, D. He said, yo, chill, D. I was like, fuck you talking about? He need to be quiet when I'm on stage. He said, chill. He said, yo, you my man, but that's my man. Translation, we kill people together.
Yeah.
And only the craziest thing, some jokes literally almost cost me my life.
Crazy, yeah.
Jesus.
That's
I had
old
some-
school shit.
But it was like, I know it sounds weird, like, did you quit? Nah, man. I was waiting for some violence to pop off because in the black clubs, if something pop off the week before, next week, that shit popping. We going back. Yo, you got to get there early, man. But it was always, I was like, that was the
Guy's
first.
a marketer.
They were always, that's what I got my stripes in New York. Was Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I got knighted. I remember one time I was doing a show, and this guy, I was on the stage, and this guy in the audience was heckling me. He was like, yo, BX, baby, BX. I'm like, okay, BX, but we're in Brooklyn now, BK all day, because you got to say that, BK all day. He was like, BX, baby. He's like, fuck you. And then I was like,
The
fuck
Bronx
you.
is a different kind of heckler, too.
Yeah,
when you get
forget
them.
about
But you
It's
can't
bad.
you don't give a fuck. You can't come to Brooklyn.
Sure. No, of
and
course.
heckle, right? And then this is where I got this is when Brooklyn fell in love with me. Like, he was talking shit to me or whatever, right? And he tried to rush the stage. I was on the stage, right? He tried to rush the stage. I had the mic in my hand, right? And I just started welling on this motherfucker. You know how nice it is to hear the combination with a mic in your hand where you can hear the sound effects? And it was
Everybody
like,
going nuts.
it was like bloop, blop, 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 blop. Right? And the sweet thing was, after that, I went back on stage and finished my show. And another notorious killer, sometime later, was like, you know when we loved you, son? He said, when you fucked that motherfucker up and went back on stage, we was like this, he's one of us.
Damn. That's
and
awesome.
I still got love for Brooklyn.
Mocha's wasn't going on when you were coming up, right?
No, I was before Mocha's.
Okay.
Like there was
Smokey and all them?
Smoking them. There was no other, like, I would say, compared to a hot room. Rob Stapleton.
Sure.
He used to do Sugar Hill in the Bronx.
Rob Stapleton was the first guy I ever saw murder. We both started at the Laugh House in Philly, and it was John Laster, our buddy Chris Cotton, and Rob Stapleton closing. And our buddy Chris Cotton murdered as a host. Laster destroyed. And I'm like, I don't know who this guy is coming up, but there's no way he's going to
But you know, John Laster was a guy that, when he first moved here, I was one of the only guys who give him a spot at the spot I was telling you about, Palm Court Lounge.
He's one of the best.
Yeah.
And I respected. I had so much respect for Rob Stapleton because when comics was like, I don't know if it was jealous or just didn't fuck with me or whatever, I will always say, that's why I always do whatever he do. He always put money in my pocket.
Yeah.
And that means a lot when you got a motherfucker you know will come to your shit.
Yeah.
And even if I would come, like, man, I was broke where I would do a spot, I get $100 or $150, and then then the next week, I'm like, I will still come to your spot. They be like, you was just here last week. I was like, I got new jokes, motherfucker, just to get a $20, $30 spot. But Rob has always had a dope room. But anybody tell you that era, like early 2000, late 90s.
Killers.
It was like I had a popping room. The crazy thing was, I wasn't from here. So it was like, who is this country motherfucker that come up here and just have these rules? I had the rooms popping. It was dope. I was like, I don't have to call you for bookings. I mean, I remember I was doing one spot in Brooklyn. It was called Poke Knockers. We were doing $3,000 at the door.
Damn.
And $7,000 to $10,000 on food and beverages.
It's crazy.
That's good for a comedy club.
Man, you couldn't tell me shit. I was clean because, back then, you rooming with somebody, so you splitting rent 3 ways.
Sure.
I would clear all my bills in one week and just trick on the bitches after that.
Yeah.
No more watching the planes.
Nah, not at all. But just look out the window, look at the Brooklyn clock.
Yeah, I was new to comedy, and I'd never seen anybody kill a room like that. All 3 of them, and Rob Stapleton. It was unreal to see that at the Laugh House.
But that was
crazy.
and then when we were coming up. That was the only, anything other than just because we just was like, you got to rip, especially in those rooms. You just had to rip. It wasn't how was it? If you was okay, that mean you got booed.
Yeah. Which happened a couple of times.
We got to watch Ray Gordon and just watch him.
T-Ray's another. We all from the same era.
Yeah.
Same cloth, yeah.
Man, that's
Love
wild. I love it. Let's talk about now a little bit.
Yeah. A little bit of cash.
A
You're
little
doing
bit of cash.
all right. You're doing okay. How many suits do you own? You came in wearing a suit. First guy to ever wear a proper suit.
I own more suits than the average black guy.
Which is what?
Because they usually have, you know what it means. That suit, don't act like you don't know.
No, man.
You know what that means.
We don't see color.
No.
You got your vacation
You
suit.
know what that means. He was like this. What does that mean? So you have a suit outside of church and funerals? No, marriage. We got one suit and we changed the shirt.
Funerals.
But it was a couple years ago.
But you wear the hell out of a suit. You look great.
And I always had reservations about it. And I was always on stage. I'm normally like most comics. Their look is normally like, we get fly with the sneakers, jeans, or a graphic T-shirt. That was my thing because I said I'll feel comfortable dressed like that.
Sure.
But I had to do something one time. I didn't have time to change. It was a suit. I don't know if it was a funeral or something. And this girl was like, "You should wear the suit." My friend was like, "Wear the suit." And I wore a suit. It was in Atlanta. I wore a suit on stage, and I thought I was going to be stiff. But I'm telling you, just the appreciation, the compliments
good.
was good.
Boost the confidence.
Yeah.
I still mix it up, but it is something to be said. It's a whole different conversation. You know what I mean? You don't have to prove it. And there's times I go up there, I'll go on stage with a hoodie, T-shirt, whatever I feel. But, especially with me getting older, I was like, you know what? You're getting older and you want to show your grown man side and mix it up.
Maturity.
Yeah.
So what are we talking? 7 suits?
No, I probably got about 25.
25 suits?
Yeah.
Any real heavy hitters? Like any designer?
I don't really go that.
Nah,
I
just standard
The
classic.
crazy thing was I got introduced to the suit game from a good friend of mine from Brooklyn. He was like, you ever had a custom made suit? I was still off the rack. I was like, no. I got measured and it was these Korean tailors in Brooklyn. Right? La Kente, whatever. I can never pronounce the name right. But they suited me up, and crazy thing was they gave me this I got in the game. They gave me 5 suits for free
No shit.
and paid me. And I didn't give a fuck about the suits. I wanted the money. I was like, shit, I'll take that little bit of change, right? And then just the way people responded to it, I just fell in love with it. But it's nothing like I'm telling you, I'm not spending no $5,000 and $10,000 on no
they look
suit.
great though.
Yeah,
great.
but then it's just what's like how you accessorize and how you wear it.
Were you a Stacey Adams guy back in the day?
That's racist. No, I'm just saying. It's like, just say, was your father a pimp also? Nah, Stacey Adams. You were Stacey Adams. You like, I told the bitch to come over here before you just.
He used to have a pair.
I used to always want to be able to pull off the Stacey Adams, the weave shoes. You know what I'm talking about?
No, but I never was. Back then, I didn't get no.
Man.
I know the look you're talking about. You got to get the
so
shoes, the
comfortable.
socks to match, and everything. No, I was just strictly a sneaker Tim guy back then.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of car are you whipping around in now?
I have a Mercedes EO6 580 electric something in a Bronco in Ohio.
And a Bronco.
The new Bronco or an old Bronco?
The Bronco. No, not the
new-
OJ. You just look like you got OJ Simpson in your eyes.
What the hell? I didn't even think
I
of
don't like
that.
this picture you're
Yeah.
painting.
No, I'm just fucking with you. No, it's because I stay between Yellow Springs and Ohio, and that fucking Bronco is like my favorite car.
Yeah, they're cool. They're real cool.
And I got this is a great story. A 1985 Eldorado.
Ooh.
And the story behind that, I told you my dad was a hustler.
Uh-huh.
And when like all of his kids, when we got of age to drive, he bought all of his kids cars, right? And I remember it was time for me to get a car, and I'm all excited about this shit. And I heard him. I picked up the phone. He's talking to my mother. He was like, "Yeah, I got this Eldorado over here. I'm not really driving it. I'd like to give it to Donnell for his birthday." And my mother said, "That don't make no sense. We live in this neighborhood, whatever, and it just me, fucking 75-pound dude, wearing thrift store clothes, driving a fucking Eldorado. How many times am I going to get pulled over?" Right? And my mother fucking was like, "No." And that was the first time I didn't call her, but I felt bitch in my head.
Sure.
I was like, I can't believe this bitch would stop me from getting these bitches. I'm like, do you know how much pussy I'm gonna get? I'm about to be a young dad. If I would have had the Eldorado,
Sure.
I would have had a 35-year-old kid right now. Right? But the crazy thing was, she nipped it in the butt. I got a Dodge Omni.
Dodge Omni.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me
But
see.
the thing about it, here's the story about me getting with that Cadillac. That was like my dream car. I was
Oh,
like,
that's way different than an Eldorado, dude. Yikes.
yeah, I know. So I'm like this. I know, but I was still driving. I had a hatchback and a radio. I still had bitches, but I would have had bitches. But the thing,
Hatchback and a radio.
and going back to the story, so that was the car that got away. And I'm not really a car guy, but I always said, you know what?
Sentimental.
I want
Yeah.
to buy a car. And I was in maybe like 10 years ago, I was in Virginia, somewhere in Virginia. I'm driving down the street, and the car that my dad wanted to get me, it was on somebody's driveway for sale.
Oh, shit.
Huh.
The exact same car. And I said, I don't give a fuck if this car got an engine or whatever. I'm getting it just because getting that birthday gift to myself
Sure.
some years later. I never drive it. Like, I'm not a big car guy, but that car just means a lot to me because I'm like, it's what if questions.
That's a good story. I
That's
love
awesome.
that. Are you peeing in the shower?
I don't know how to answer that question with all these allegations going on.
Do you pee when you take a shower?
Yeah. Where else are you going to pee?
Yeah.
That's the best pee ever,
Yeah,
man.
it's not bad.
Yeah.
Freedom.
I feel like that's a trick question. and
No,
shit.
no.
That's
Yeah,
a
you know,
standard-
Diddy used to pee in the shower. You see what it got him?
That's a standard are you garbage question.
Yeah. I pee in the shower.
Will you brush your teeth in there?
Yep.
You leave the toothbrush in.
Yep. I have it on a rack.
Okay.
I might even rub one off in the shower. I mean, that's garbage. That's a real man shit.
This guy's a
It's lot of
one-stop
things-
shop, dude.
There's a lot of things happening in that shower.
Huh.
Will you put chips on a sandwich if you're making a sandwich?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Without question, man. Ham and cheese, turkey ham and cheese. But it's got to be certain chips. Only ones. You
Hit
only
me.
can do Lay's
Yes.
or Ruffles, sour cream and onion.
Well, you'll do
with the-
sour cream and
I'll
onion
do-
on a sandwich?
Really?
Yeah, but no like barbecue or no shit like that.
Yeah,
It's got to be
yeah,
a plain joint. Yeah.
That's new money.
You got to have a sandwich.
What's your mayo? Hellman's or Miracle Whip?
Hellman's.
Gentlemen. All right.
Mhm.
And where are you shopping in Ohio? Where do you go? Where do you go to the grocery store? And are you doing it?
I go to Kroger's.
Go to Kroger's.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
Kroger's. Or there's a really small, because I like to support locally.
Like the small market.
Yeah, called Tom's.
Really?
And I go in there because it's all old people in there, and I feel young as shit when I go in there. They think I'm Idris Elba in Yellow Springs.
I was going to say, you imagine walking around a Kroger in Ohio and you see Donnell Rawlings walking
But
around
I like
with
it.
his car?
I'm telling you, I like that little country life.
Yeah.
Sure.
Have you ever washed shoes in the washing machine or
Hell yeah.
dishwasher? Yeah.
I just did it a while ago. I got a pair.
shit.
What?
Yeah, I throw them in there. But it's certain shoes, not no Nikes or shit. Like I got a couple pair of shoes that's like just washable.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it?
I was supposed to say no. I take the toothbrush and
No.
wash it.
I mean, that's a trashy. I mean, washing them in the dishwasher, the washing machine's trashy.
Is it hamburger meat or ground beef?
Hamburger meat.
Oh.
What else goes with hamburger helper, motherfucker? You don't hear them say ground beef helper. It's hamburger. Hamburger.
Man, he's,
Shout out to hamburger.
he's losing ground
quick.
Oh my
I
God.
love it.
Have you ever owned a butterfly knife or a switchblade?
I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yep. I had one. I even had a switchblade comb. I wanted
That's
one so
the
bad.
trashiest answer. Yeah.
I like it.
Huh.
Let's see.
I mean, I got a couple more, and we got to get them out of here.
Yeah.
Have you ever owned your own bowling ball or pool cue?
I have owned my own pool cue.
Wow.
Yes.
Balabushka?
I don't know what the name of it was. I bought it from the thrift store. I was really into it. And I had my own. I got a quick story. My dad, because he used to get stuff from the barbershop, he had a Gibson lead guitar, right?
Whoa.
He gave it to me. I didn't know shit about it, but I just knew. I was like, and my dumbass left the fucking guitar on the front porch of a seedy neighborhood. The next morning it was gone. I could have been sitting up here as Jimi Hendrix.
That the El Dorado.
With the El Dorado.
The
Yep.
what ifs, baby. I love it.
Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Donnell Rawlings. What do you think, Kip? Mostly classy?
Mostly, I don't even.
Those last couple of minutes.
He dropped it in the last couple of minutes, though. Yeah.
So I'm trash? I'm
Yeah,
garbage?
you're trash. You're trash.
Well, can I get a better way for it? Can I be garbage?
Garbage.
Yeah, I'm garbage.
Donnell Rawlings, everybody. He's going to be in the Sherberg Improv in Illinois, October 10th through the 12th. Check out all of his other dates at his website.
And the podcast, DonnellRawlings.com.
Of
But I
course.
just started this podcast, and I tell people it's not a traditional podcast. It's a reality show about a car podcast. So
Okay.
go hit the sub, the Donnell Rawlings Show.
On
and we got
YouTube.
some interesting stuff coming on. Yeah, on YouTube.
Buddy,
Awesome.
an absolute legend,
Yeah.
one of the funniest. This was amazing. We love
great.
you, and thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
Kippy,
man.
what do you got
And
for
fuck your producer. No.
Patreon.com, guys. All the
He had the
bonus
Stacey Adams question, by the way.
Move over 3 inches, motherfucker.
What do you got, Kip?
That's it. Just check out Patreon.com. We're off the road for a bit. New dates are coming out soon. Stay tuned.
Gang, we love you. Donnell, we love you. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
man.
And gang,
thanks
we'll
for
see
having
you
me.
next week.
Peace.